For the pleasure of Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Radha Vallabh, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadramai, Srila Prabhupada, and assembled devotees. Daily score report for Saturday, 4th of July, 26. Book distributed yesterday, Dvij Pidambar Prabhu, 1 small, 2 Mahabig book for 4.25 book points. Sevya, 3 small, 2 big, 3 Mahabig book for 8.75 book points. Madan Mohini Mataji, 3 big, 11 Mahabig book for 25 book points. Mahalakshmi Mataji, 2 big, 2 Mahabig book, 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 78 book points. And Ati Sukumari Radha Mataji, 2 small, 1 small, 6 big, 47 Mahabig book for 100.45 book points. That's a daily total of 5 small, 13 big, 65 Mahabig book, and 1 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set for 216.45 book points. Preaching score yesterday, Gopal's 224 guests for 2,687 Lakshmi points. Crossways 348 guests for 3,222 Lakshmi points. That's a total 572 guests for 5,909 Lakshmi points. Book distributed this week, Gokul Sundari Mataji, 1 small, 1 Mahabig book for 2.25 book points. Lalita Lila Prakashini Mataji, 1 small, 2 Mahabig book for 4.25 book points. Sivya, 3 small, 2 big, 3 Mahabig book for 8.75 book points. Crossways team books, 2 small, 1 medium, 2 big, 3 Mahabig book for 9 book points. Madan Mohini Mataji, 3 big, 11 Mahabig book for 25 book points. Sudhir Govind Prabhu, 4 small, 1 big, 12 Mahabig book for 26 book points. Noha, 7 small and 15 Mahabig book for 31.75 book points. Ati Sukumari Radha Mataji, 1 small, 6 big, 47 Mahabig book for 100.45 book points. Dvij Pitambar Prabhu, 21 small, 1 medium, 28 big, 57 Mahabig book for 147.75 book points. And Mahalakshmi Mataji, 1 medium, 3 big, 4 Mahabig book, 5 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set, 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita set for 443.50 book points. So that's a weekly total, 40 small, 3 medium, 45 big, 155 Mahabig book, 5 Śrīmad Bhāgavatam set, and 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita set for total of 798.70 book points. Weekly preaching score, Gopal's 1,693 guests for 20,313 Lakshmi points, and Crossways 2,410 guests for 22,292 Lakshmi points. That's a weekly total, 4,103 guests for 42,605 Lakshmi points. Lakshmi liberated this week, yesterday, Dvij Pidambar Prabhu 15, Sivya 45, Madan Mohini Mataji 177, Mahalakshmi Mataji 385, Hare Krishna Valley 415, Member Services 502, Ati Sukumari Radha Mataji 563, Temple Shop 922, and Prasadam Distribution Table 6,381 Lakshmi points. That's a daily total of 9,405 Lakshmi points. Gokul Sundari Mataji for this week, whole week, is Gokul Sundari Mataji 20, Lalita Lila Prakashini Mataji 25, Sevya 45, Crossways Books Team 74, Noha 106, Madan Mohini Mataji 177, Sudhir Govind Prabhu 275, Ati Sukumari Radha Mataji 563, Dvij Pidambar Prabhu 691, Hare Krishna Valley 1,594, Mahalakshmi Mataji 2,026, Temple Shop 3,827, Donation Box 4,859, Prasadam Distribution Table 13,491, and Member Services 48,199 Lakshmi points. That's a weekly total, 75,972 Lakshmi points. Sankirtan Yagya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes,
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalavakati Shadmai. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevalava Kati Shadma. Vandamui Shava Tana Mate. Bando mue shavadana mate. Jara prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Prabhupada. Jara prasade bhai e bhavatoriya jai. Krishna prapti hoy jar hoy te. Hello. Krishna prapti hoy jar hoy te. Guru mukha padma vakya chitete koriya akya. Prabhupada. Guru mukha padma vakya chitete koriya akya. Arona koriya mane asa. Prabhupada. Arona koriya mane asa. Shri Guru Charane Rati Eshe Uttama Gati. Bolo. Shri Guru Charane Rati Eshe Uttama Gati. Jai prasade pure sarva asa. Jai prasade pure sarva asa. Chakudan dilo je janme janme Prabhu se. Dibogan hriday prakasito. দিবজ্ঞান হৃদে প্রকাশিত প্রেম ভক্তে যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশযতে প্রেম ভক্তি যাহা হইতে অবিদ্যা বিনাশযতে বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত বেদে গায় যাহার চরিত শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু শ্রী গুরু করুণা সিন্ধু অধম জনার বন্ধু লোকনাথ লোকের জীবানা লোকনাথ লোকের জীবানা আহা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পাদ ছায়া হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পাদ ছায়া আয়া বেজাস কুসু ত্রিভুবানা বেজাস কুসু ত্রিভুবানা হা হা প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পাদা ছায়া প্রভু কর দয়া দেহ মোরে পাদা ছায়া এবে যাস গোশ্রুতে ভুবানা প্রভুপাদ পতিত পাবনা Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavana Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gora Haribo 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 Gora Haribo Haribo Gora Haribo Srila Prabhupada ki jai Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Prabhupada Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Ashtatadesha Tarine. Everybody. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaur Hare. Yeah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Nityananda Ram. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everybody. Prabhu Nityananda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Harinam, Harinam. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Go Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare. Go Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, oh Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaurahare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Jai Sachinandana, Jai Sachinandana. Jai Sachinandana, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Roll. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Gaura, Gaura, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Gora, 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 Hare. Gora, 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 Hare. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Nitai, 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 Nitai Gaurango. Tiny, 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 Nitai Gaurango. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Satchinandana, Jai Satchinandana, Jai Satchinandana, Gaura Hare. Jai Satchinandana, Gaura Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Come on, I can't hear you. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath. Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Jai Baladeva, Jai Subhadra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I can't hear you. Gora, 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 Hare. Gora, 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 Hare. Gora, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come on, buddy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come on, buddy. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango. Nitai Gaurango, Gaurade. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurade. Gaura, Gaura, Gaurade. Gaurade. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. One. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hey, hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Tagora Haribo, 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 Tagora Haribo. Nitai Gor Haribo. Come on, you can do better than that. Haribo. Haribo. Nitai Gor Haribo. 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 1, 2, 3. Nitai Gor Haribo. 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 Nitai Gor Haribo. Nitai Gor Haribo. 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 Nitai Gor Haribo. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. 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 They said we didn't sweat enough. Few more minutes. Sundays we a little bit extra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hey, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come through. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gora Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, Haribo. Haribo, Haribo. Go Premanande. Jai Vishwabad Varamaham Samari, His Divine Grace, Later Bhaktivedanta, Swami Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Vidila Jai Vishwabad Varamaham Samari, His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Goswami, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाए, नामचार्य चलारिदास ठाकुर की जाए, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाए, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए, वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जाए, मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जाए, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की जाए, गंगा माई जमुना माई की जाए, हरे नाम संकीर्तन की जाए, संकीर्तन यज्ञ की जाए, हरे कृष्णा महामंत्र की जाए, ट्रांसजेंडरल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाए, विशारम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जाए. What else? Shri Shri Radha Ballabhaji ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Melbourne Mahaprabhu Mandir ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Śrīla Prabhupada. Beautiful service. About reverence. Ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. Consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection, filled with all desires. He opened my darkened eyes and fulfills my heart, transcendent knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic flame emanates, by him ignorance he is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures to sing of his character. Our spiritual master, the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, the Lord and master of the devotees. Oh, Master, be merciful unto us. Give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame spread all over the sea world. We take shelter, Lord of lotus. Save the whole world, Śrīla Prabhupada ki. Śrīla Prabhupada Guru Puja ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Very hard. It went through my teeth. Yeah, it went through my teeth. I could kind of sideways. But it's. I was surprised you were still continuing the treatment. I was in pain, but I just continued. Yeah. Are you bleeding or move a little bit this way? I feel pain in my teeth. Oh. It went like sideways a bit. Push. And pain here. It should be okay.
Hare Krishna. It's like calm after the storm. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaura Premanandi, Jayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Astuttara Shri Śrīmad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Grantara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Tai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories, Śrīla Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nasta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Good morning. Thank you for coming and attending this morning's Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. Today we are reading from Canto 10, the Summum Bonum, Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth. We are doing verse 10. Shri Nanda Uvacha Shri Nanda Uvacha Alakshitosmin Rahasi Alakshitosmin Rahasi Mamakairapi Govraje Mamakairapi Govraje Kuru Dvijati Samskaram Kuru Dvijati Samskaram Swasti Vachanam Purvakam Swasti Vachanam Purvakam Shri Nanda Vacha Alakshitasmin Rahasi Mamakairapi Govraje Kuru Dvijati Samskaram Swasti Vachanam Purvakam. Please chant. Shri Nanda Vacha Alakshitosmin Rahasi Mamakairapi Govraje Kuru Dvijati Samskaram Swasti Vachanam Purvakam. Shri Nanda Vacha Alakshitasmin Rahasi Mamakairapi Govraje Guru Dvijati Samskaram Swasti Vachanam Purvakam. Vaishnavis. Srinanda Vacha Alakshitasmin Rahasi Mamakairapi Govraje Kuru Dvijati Samskaram Swasti Vachana Purvakam. Srinanda Vacha. Nanda Maharaj said to Garga Muni, Alakshitaha, without Kamsa's knowledge, Asmin, in this cowshed, Rahasi, in a very solitary place, Mamakai, even by my relatives, Api, a still more secluded place, Govraje, in the cowshed, Kuru, just execute, Dvijati Samskaram, the purificatory process of second birth, Samskarat Bhavit Dvijaya, Swasti Vachana Purvakam, by chanting the Vedic hymns to perform the purificatory process. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada Ki Jai. We can read the translation together. Nanda Maharaj said, "My dear great sage, if you think that your performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cowshed of my house, without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential." Purport. Nanda Maharaj did not like the idea of avoiding the purificatory process. Despite the many obstacles, he wanted to take advantage of Garga Muni's presence and do what was needed. The purificatory process is essential specifically for Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Therefore, since Nanda Maharaj presented himself as a Vaishya, this process of purification was essential. Formerly, such institutional activities were compulsory. Chaturvarnyam maya sristam gunakarma vibhagasaha. Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Without these activities of purification, the society would be considered a society of animals. To take advantage of Garga Muni's presence, Nanda Maharaj wanted to perform the Nama, Karana ceremonies, even secretly without any gorgeous arrangements. Therefore, the opportunity for purification should be regarded as the essential duty of human society. In Kali Yuga, however, people have forgotten the essence. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya hi upadruttaha. In this age, people are all bad and unfortunate, and they do not accept Vedic instructions to make their lives successful. Nanda Maharaj, however, did not want to neglect anything. To keep intact a happy society advanced in spiritual knowledge, he took full advantage of Garga Muni's presence to do what was necessary. How degraded society has become within 5,000 years. Manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyaha. The human life is obtained after many, many millions of births, and it is intended for purification. Previously, a father was eager to give all kinds of help to elevate his children. But at present, because of being misguided, people are prepared even to kill to avoid the responsibility of raising children. Om Ajnanatamrandasya Jananjana Shalaka Chakshushanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langete Girim Yatkripatamam Vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Sahodato Vadodaya Puchvanta Chitra Sando Tamonda. Once again, Shri Nanda Vacha Alakshito Asmin Rahasi Mamakair Api Go Vraje Kurudvi Jati Samskaram Swasti Vachanam Purvakam. Nanda Maharaj said, my dear great sage, if you think that you're performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of second birth here in the cowshed of my house without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives, for this process of purification is essential. So, the context thus far from the previous verses and so on is that Vasudeva has sent Garga Muni, a very exalted personality, to actually perform the name-giving ceremony. It's one of the samskars for the higher caste, in this case the Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. They do that for purifying the child. And so he comes secretly, Garga Muni comes secretly to Gokula to do this service. But having come from yesterday, we read, once he came there, he decided, or rather he cautioned Nanda Maharaj, saying that, it's not good to do this. Huh? Maybe you should not do it, not yet, or something like that. And the reason is, Kamsa is, what is Kamsa doing? Huh? Yeah, he's trying to locate. He's trying to hunt down where Krishna is located. So we find that any Vedic ceremony is going to attract Kamsa. As soon as someone does some ceremony for child name giving or something like that, he's going to investigate because Kamsa is so fearful. And so therefore Garga Muni suggested, let's avoid the ceremony to prevent the danger. But in this today's verse, yesterday was Garga Muni was saying, today we see Nanda Maharaj. He says, in this verse you can see, he is not wanting to skip it. He says, no, we will do it. Yeah, and then he gives his way of how we can do. He's saying, let's do it discreetly, secretly. That's what he is proposing. Of course, the whole thing here is for us to understand how we can be responsible, how we can do religious principles in different circumstances, at the same time how we can all become purified also. So that's the most important, at least I see to be in this verse. Huh? And therefore, this is the proposal of Nanda Maharaj. If you remember, in the whole thing is like a drama, as I mentioned yesterday, and we do not know how things are going to end, because Krishna is a great artist or drama, and in the 8th canto, Gajendra, he sings, no? Na yasya deva rishaya padam vidu jantur punakho radhikantmiritum yatanatasya kritibi vichastato duratyayano kramana vichastatu mavatu samavatu. Yeah. And then he's saying this, we can't really understand the Supreme Lord because he's like an artist on stage. They dress up and then they dance and you don't even know who's that person, right? Sometimes you, because they're all dressed up, and don't understand what is happening also. So he's saying even the demigods and great sages cannot understand what Krishna is up to. And so with this, all this drama going on, with Kamsa looking and everyone is really worried and so on. We don't know what's happening. And similarly, in the first canto, first verse, we also find first chapter, first verse, Muyanti yat surayaha. Vyasadeva says that even the sages and the demigods, they are also illusioned by the potency of Sri Krishna. So it's very hard to sometimes figure out what is happening. So for us, we can understand, at least from here, in this, and Srila Prabhupada's purport, is that Nanda Maharaj is insisting on having this purification ceremony. He feels this is essential, this is important. And Srila Prabhupada says it is important because if we don't do that, we end up becoming like animals. Yeah, he says that, you know. Actually, in another place, if you don't follow the 4 regulatory principles, you are not even considered a human being, actually. Yeah, so therefore, why? Because all this helps us to, when we say human, means we can connect with the Supreme Lord. Because you don't see any wild animals here. Of course, you can say in India, some places, a cow may come, a dog may come, a monkey or an elephant, but exception to the rule is not the rule. Okay? So generally, in principle, we see this is meant for realization, self-realization, trying to connect with the Supreme, is for human form of existence. So we have to understand that, and therefore, how do we do it? We have to be purified to a certain level. Our consciousness must be situated in a very advanced level. Then we can make the choices that will lead us towards Krishna. And so you see here, Nanda Maharaj wants this purification, because the impressions that the child gets with the whole ceremony is so potent that it elevates the child's consciousness, and therefore he's insisting that I want this to be done. So purification is very important, and that's what Prabhupada also emphasizes. It's all the samskars, as I mentioned yesterday, is for the 3 castes of ashrams, like Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. They will do that. They are known as the higher castes. The Shudras like us, we don't need to do those things. But Srila Prabhupada is so kind that he, with Mahaprabhu's blessings and so on, we are able to also practice this purification. How do we do that? We do it through, first, chanting of the holy name. The basis of our purification is in the chanting of the holy name. And it's not just chanting, but the intent behind it must be for purifying our consciousness so that we can actually do the proper service for the Supreme Lord. Not just purify. I mean, you can go and take a shower and say, I'm purified also, or do some achaman and say, I'm purified. But then the intent must be, I'm doing all this because I want to serve the Lord, I want to connect with Him, because that's my original position. At the moment I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed by the material energy and so on, therefore I don't know what is good for me, so therefore purification is essential from the very beginning of our life actually. And so without the purification, as Prabhupada says, without these activities of purification, society would be considered a society of animals. Which means we will only be driven by eating, mating, sleeping and defending, which is what you see all around the world. You travel, you see that happening everywhere. Society is so confused because everyone thinks if you have more of a certain thing, you'll be happy. But it's not the truth. It's a lie actually, right? People can have all the wealth in the universe and still they may never be happy or contented. Right? Someone can have $1 billion and have terminal cancer. With all the wealth, they cannot fix themselves. So it's a lie to say this is happiness. Right? If you have so much wealth, then why someone is not so happy in such a situation? They should be happy saying, so what, I have so much money. I die happy. Actually, that's how the Americans think, actually. The person who dies with the most toys wins. That's the philosophy they have. So it's sad, but that's the reality. So, in terms, from our point of view, we shouldn't give up any purification, or we should not give up essential activities that are given to us by Srila Prabhupada. We should not give it up. Why? Because it will help us. In the same way, you see, Nanda Maharaj is not saying, okay, because of Kamsa, I'm not going to do it. Just like if you are in some countries where, like in China and so on, they come hard on a religious organization, but the devotees there don't mind. They put tilak and then they go to work, and sometimes they even go on Harinam, although the government says no gathering. Yeah, they arrest them, they put in prison, but once they come out, they still go out. Why? Because this is essential. Harinam Sankirtan is very essential. Otherwise, we give in to the modes in this age, and then we become confused what is right and what is wrong. More than that, even worse than that, is when we associate with all these non-religious groups and so on, there's a tendency to come to a point of rejecting what is good for us also. Right? When we embrace certain things outside, it becomes convenient, it becomes easy, so much so that we turn around and say, this Vedic culture is too much. Too many rules. And therefore it's not helpful for me. Not understanding the real purpose behind it. More than often we fall down to the basic survival instinct, that is sense enjoyment. It pleases my senses and this is good, so I'm okay. I'm okay, you are okay, leave us alone. Like that. So therefore, there's a tendency to reject Vedic guidance and so on. And you find yourself, even among devotees also, sometimes you want to help someone and you will tell them, don't do this, it's not good for you. And you find devotees also who say, no, I don't want to listen to you. Why? Because our association may not be good. Remember, in the Bhagavad Gita, Purusha Prakriti Stohi Bhungte Prakriti Jan Guna Karanam Guna Sangasya Sarasa Yoni Janvasu. As we associate with all these different modes, we tend to acquire those qualities. Eventually, these qualities will lead us to take lower birth. Because we want to desire those things, we want to exist in those ways, and therefore we actually suffer. Now that's just confirmation that we suffer. Everything you have to fix. Nirbandha Krishna, Sambandhe, right? Try to connect it to Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada mentions at the end, because they reject Vedic guidance, some of them go to the point of even taking responsibility towards their own children. They don't want to guide them. Many places in the world you see the parents don't even want to teach the child anything. Like 10, 15 years ago in UK, there's a family who was just living in a shambles, in a shattered hut, and the father and mother were drinking and watching something in the thing. And the two sons, they had two sons. One was 8 years old, another one was like 10 or 11, And these two boys also were drinking. Okay? Now how do we know this? Is because these two boys, actually, the parents watch all kinds of horrible shows, pornography and all kinds of, violent, yes, horribly violent shows. And so the two boys learn those things. This is their samskar. Okay, they learn those things, and in school they followed another young girl, like 8 years old, and they beat her up so bad, and they left her body under a bridge, bleeding and so on. And they stabbed her They took iron rods, they beat her up, and then they went home and they were drinking and watching with their parents. But the girl survived. She crawled out, and then a passerby saw them, took her to hospital, and then she recovered, and she told who these people or the boys were, and so the police came and arrested the whole family. And in the court case, the judge said, I don't know what to do. How is it that you are so young and doing this kind of activity? Why? Because from the beginning, the society itself has become so confused and eroded. Values are gone, morality is not understood, the purposes behind human life is not even known why we are doing all this thing. If everything is based on sense enjoyment, that's what happens. I like doing this, I like beating up people, so I can do it. If I can get away with it, it's okay, So this is what you see in society in some parts of the world. So not only that, you see Prabhupada says essential duty is very important. One should do it. Otherwise this is going to create chaos in society. So we have to evaluate our own priorities in life, especially parents. You have children, you have to think, what am I giving my child? Prabhupada says, if you send the children to the normal school, you're sending them to slaughterhouse. And you wonder what he means by that. Because you are becoming Atmaha, means you are killer of the souls. You kill the soul who's supposed to be serving the Supreme Lord. We are taking them away. In that sense, he wants us to become very clear about all this. So priorities, we should know. And our own practices also. Why are these practices that are given by our predecessor acharyas and so on, why they are so important? We should ask ourselves before we take up the process. Right? And so then when we ask those questions deeply, then we become more convinced this is important. And then we make choices for ourselves, our family, our children, all together. And that brings about not only a family change, it brings about a society change, it brings about national change also. Because if everyone sees how good this family is, they will try to emulate to as much as possible that family. They will ask, what is it that you're doing that makes you, so happy, Most people are not happy. Prabhupada writes somewhere where, the happiness that you actually experience is only a blimp it's like the heartbeat, Right? So in the same way, the happiness we are experiencing is actually an interruption of our distressful existence, actually. So how do we prioritize? Essential duties or sense gratification? So as soon as we make a decision, it should be, you should actually ask yourself, does this please my spiritual master? Will it please Prabhupada? Or does it please this personality of Godhead? Is this the right thing or not? Smartavya satatam Vishnu Vishmartavya najatu sid. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. So in our activities, that must be one of the prime paradigm, It should be the main focus, prime instruction of our existence. If my activities actually paralleling the desires of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas? Is it good or not, right? If we don't want to do it, then we shouldn't be doing any of these activities. We should just go back into the mass population and merge within them. Yeah. Otherwise, if we are taking up this process, we should then do it properly. The difference is you can go out there and do anything, any nonsense, and you still get some reactions. But to achieve Krishna consciousness, you got to do it perfectly. You got to work hard to get perfection. Therefore, you must be convinced that this is good for you. If you are not convinced, you will not do it. You will find excuses within your life to not do these things. You will. I'm not making this up. You will. Your mind will become your guru. Therefore, sadhu sangha is emphasized so much. We get together, we hear, like we come in the mornings to listen to Śrīmad Bhāgavatam class. Why? Because Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is one of the most powerful medium by which you can go back to Godhead. It awakens your true nature. And there will be an impetus by reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, an impetus for you to make changes in your life. Otherwise, we don't do all these things. We think everything's okay, life is okay, I'm paying my bills, it's okay. You know, you could pay your bills and still go to hell, you know. No, this is reality. So we see how Nanda Maharaj is insistent. So we learn that lesson. We cannot compromise our principles, particularly those that help us get closer to Krishna and the devotees. You have to take that lesson, otherwise, you know, what's the point, you know? So, you see, Nanda Maharaj, he wants the best spiritual foundation for his son, both his sons. Balaram, we know, you know, we have the information they are Supreme Personality of Godhead. But actually, Nanda Maharaj doesn't know that. He's thinking, my children, you know, they need this support. Otherwise, they'll be like animals or like Kamsa. He doesn't want that. And the thing is, he wants it to happen despite the danger that it may pose, because this is more important. Right? If you raise a child and you give all the positive influence, that child will become a great person. But if they have, as I gave you the example, how that parents were raising the two boys, it's all negative. They become destructive element in society, and that's not what we want. So then the other thing is, you see how he addresses Garga Muni. Very nice. He says, if you think that you are performing this process of purification will make Kamsa suspiciously, then secretly chant. But he wants Garga Muni to do it. That's the most important point. Why? Why that? Because Garga Muni is very exalted person. He's very powerful. He's very potent. So among ourselves, you will find among your association, some people know something more in certain areas. You may be expert in cooking, someone may be expert in dressing the deities, someone in Shastric knowledge. So you use them to enhance your understanding and the way you can connect to the Supreme. Through devotees, through devotee association. It's very important, you know. Prabhupada has given us everything. It's just that we have to put it together. It's not a puzzle. If it's a puzzle, you have to keep thinking what to do, you know. But He's already given us everything. How to connect to God. And therefore it's very important to understand that just like Nanda Maharaj is respecting great sages, we should learn to respect one another also, because each and every one of you, as I mentioned yesterday, have a lot of things that you can contribute and help each other to go back to Godhead, you know. Like in the race, canoe racing in the Olympics, now one guy doesn't row, they have like 3 or 4 personalities. Everyone is in sync, everyone is helping each other. So they move forward. Yeah. The same way we have to also understand Nanda Maharaj is using this opportunity, the advantage. Prabhupada says he wanted to take advantage of Garga Muni's presence. Sometimes you go to, like in my case, I travel, sometimes I go to a city, sometimes parents will come and say, please, today is my child's 6th month, we want to do Annaprasha, will you do it? I'm like, who, you know, you don't even know me, you know. But they say, no, you are traveling and you are preaching, so you are better than us. Yeah. So sometimes I'm wondering, how is it they come to that conclusion? Because they really want something good for their child. Just like if you read the Lilamrita, Srila Prabhupada's father, what was he doing? Huh? Exactly. He's always asking different saintly persons. Even though they were bogus, he would ask them, please bless my child. Yeah. And what is the purpose? Because he saw it was so important. Gaur Mohan saw this is so important. My child needs the best thing in life. Not material knowledge, right? He never pushed his son to become elevated in material things. He pushed him for spiritual life. He taught him harmonium lessons. He taught him mridanga. And Prabhupada said he picked up how to cook by watching people cooking in the... when he went to festivals in the roadside, they were cooking. Probably watched his mom also, yeah. So these are important things, you know. So we respect one another. Not just one, some sannyasis and we respect. No, we respect each other. We try to see the goodness in everyone because we are Mamayangsa Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So therefore we have the goodness as well. And if you cannot see that, then we are not practicing properly. Okay? And our exercises that we do, our practices that we do is what Prabhupada has given us. It's not a tradition that he created. No. It is principles that he understood from his Guru Maharaj coming in disciplic succession, and therefore, although it appears like tradition, but it is principles that connect us to the Supreme Person. And so that practice is very important. Huh? The other thing you can see is Nanda Maharaj he wants the best for his child because he can see that this will create healthy society. So we are all practitioners also, so we too want a healthy society. Now if we fester on some sense gratification and we do not help our family members or our own society, then we become a cancer in society. Right? We'll degrade everyone else. And therefore we lead astray people who are new, who want to come searching for the truth, and we miss the opportunity to give them. So therefore we should be very straightforward also. Okay? Yesterday I also mentioned samskaras shape your consciousness. Very positive, all are positive consciousness. They remind the child and the family that we are all meant for spiritual life. Yeah? We are all connected to the Lord. This is who we are. We are spiritual beings. That's why samskaras are important. And that our identity is spiritual nature. We are divine also. Okay? We are divine. We are part of the divinity. You know, we are not this body. Problem in society is, although we know all this information, after some time we forget. And we fall back and identify with the body and tell, you know, I'm Brahman, I'm this. Nonsense you are. You know. And therefore, instead of elevating the community, we bring down the consciousness. And therefore, we find a lot of time we are not making the tangible advancement that we are meant to be making. Right? In 5 years, you should be going back to Godhead. We don't have such aims. We don't have such goals. We are not thinking like that, right? Yeah, we should be thinking, you know, I want to get out of this world at the end of my life, at least, yeah? Rather we're thinking, oh, if I come back, I'll do this and that. And that means we have already given up. You know? Prabhupada says you should shoot for the rhinoceros because that's the hardest thing to get, but at least you try. And then you never know, you can get it. Obviously, you can try and you can put in all the effort, but ultimately it is up to Krishna. But at least you put the effort. And so Krishna will say, okay, because it's Kali Yuga, I give you a break, you can come. He can do that. Do you doubt that? He can do that. Krishna can do that. He can do anything. That's why he's God. You and I can't do that. Therefore we follow Krishna. Huh? So, therefore, our actions must be aligned with the purity that is emphasized in the Shastras. So whatever we do, whatever we say, the actions we do should be centered around the purity of the Divine Himself. Yeah. So we have to think constantly. It's a practice. That's why it's sadhana bhakti. But we have to come to that conclusion. If you don't, let's say you give yourself a year to get rid of certain bad habits. If you can't, then you have to reevaluate and sit with some good well-wishers and then ask, where am I going wrong? Right? It should be, because that's where we want to go, So purification not only protects our society, otherwise morality will decline the society. Yeah? That's very important. And what else will happen? If you don't have moral values, what will happen to you or to all of us? We become demoniac, we become like Kamsa, we become selfish, right? Everything's for us, for me. One for Krishna, two for me, right? Well, that's what most of us are doing. You earn and then you come, you put, what's the minimum amount you can put here? $5. Prabhupada used to say, I've read, where he says, Krishna doesn't see what you put in the undi, he sees what you're keeping in your pocket. Because at a certain point, as you become very purified, your consciousness, you would want to give everything away. You change your life. I know a few couples around the world, they have downsized. They like had 5-room house or 6-room house, and then I remember one of my godbrother and godsister, they said, the house is so big, we hardly go upstairs. Why have a big house, right? So they downsize to simple lifestyle, and then they go to the Dham once a year, and in the meantime they go out preaching, developing association, new people, they meet, they bring them to temple and so on. So anyone can do that. If you have friends who you want to give them something more positive in their life, it's not that we want to force people, but we can show them an alternative lifestyle. So we can always say, I'm really happy with where I'm situated. Although the society proper may be causing a lot of problems out there, but it shouldn't be affecting our Krishna consciousness. And if we are focusing on our Krishna consciousness, we become very happy actually. At the end of the day, I'm going back. So you should be happy, If you have that consciousness, you'll be very happy actually. I have Krishna. And when people look at you and say, are you on some kind of medication or what? Then you can say, yes, it's called prasadam. And then they'll ask, well, what is this medicine? I'll give you, but you have to take it. It's consumed. You cannot say no. So like that, you bring them to the temple and say, this lifestyle has made me who I am. Not this, not that, not the wealth that my parents left me. This is what made me who I am. And the wonderful devotees here encourage me daily. They're not bringing me down. My consciousness is always uplifted when I'm with my devotees. Just like the kirtan when Prabhupada was doing, didn't your consciousness hit the ceiling? This is what we want, So then, not only if you don't do purification, then within your own family you will have contention and the family bondage will weaken. And so people will go against things that are positive also. And ultimately, this spiritual culture that Srila Prabhupada wants us to maintain will disappear if we are not careful. Purification is not a ritual, actually. Please bear this in mind. It's actually transformational. That's why we get purified, because we want this loving relationship with the Lord. We want to have with each and every one of you. Because you care for me, I care for you. I'm your well-wisher, you are my well-wisher. So it's transformational. You find we change the way we relate to one another. We don't see you as an enemy anymore. We become joyful when someone is successful. In society, when someone is successful, the other person is so envious and they are scheming ways to pull you down. So, it's transformational. Your intention changes in life. Your character becomes pleasing to others. You become very responsible. Responsible not only for your life, for others also. You become their well-wisher. You go out of your way. I heard one devotee, he was helping someone in India to set up some preaching. When that preaching did not go right, he took a plane and flew there to see what the problem was. And then he solved the problem and then he came back, Although his means was less, he still did that because he said, this is more important. Because it is essential. What he was doing at work, he could take time off. It wasn't essential because it was just something he had to do, part of his duties to the family and so on. And so we see the same thing with Nanda Maharaj. He doesn't want to avoid essential things out of convenience. Like you put on tilak, right? When I used to work, I used to put on tilak and go to work. My boss would look at me, I'll just smile at him and say, good day, mate. So after some time they got used to it, yeah. We shouldn't be afraid. Why are you afraid, Of course, in the Bible it says those people who are evil, they have markings on the forehead. We are not those people, yeah. And we have our spiritual identity. I am servant of Krishna. All right, so we should maintain our spiritual standards. That's one of the things you all can go back, things that you can apply today. You should say, I want to maintain this. If I can increase, I will increase. Even if it's inconvenient, I want to maintain it. Sometimes we go on the aircraft and then we are afraid to chant. You can chant in your mind, you don't have to chant loudly and inconvenience your thing. I remember one godbrother of mine, he was flying in the aircraft and then there was massive turbulence and so the aircraft was, it fell like 1,000 meters or something, So people were screaming but he was chanting. So his neighbor who was saying, what are you doing? He said, I'm praying to the Lord. He said, please pray more for me. Yeah. So we can influence so many people in the positive way. Don't be afraid of being who you are. We are servants of Krishna. Every living entity is like that. So we should value the practices we do in ISKCON. We should value them. It's important, it's good because it's propelling, advancing the consciousness. So we should value those things. And it will elevate our character. And then the small habits, even for children, you give them how to chant slokas, chant on the mantra beats and so on. And not only that, you cultivate from a young age how to serve. So they don't feel embarrassed. We find oftentimes people feel embarrassed to do simple menial things, you know. There's nothing wrong, you know. Even Krishna took the shoes of his Nanda Maharaj, put on his head and walked to his father to serve his father. Or for Sudama Vipra, he took his lotus feet and he washed his feet, although he was the king in Dwaraka. So we should learn like this. It becomes so beautiful. Our life will be so exciting. As we see others making progress, we become so happy for them. Yeah, because we know if we help someone go back to Godhead, we know we have some credits. It's a positive credit, it's okay, you know. And Krishna will one day take us back. And that's the way we should practice. Tattena kampam susamakshamanam, you know. That Brahma says, you know, I don't care if all the karma is, I'll accept it. But I know if I continue performing service to you, Krishna, you will one day accept me. Yeah. So for family members, it's a sacred responsibility to raise the children properly. So bear that in mind. Give them spiritual culture, not just material comfort. It's okay, you give them material education, but they should align it with their spiritual culture. Okay? So do not neglect essential duties, even when your friends or society members pressure you. Don't give up. Spiritual responsibility is higher than social conventions. Okay, bear that in mind. And purification is the foundation for a healthy society. Okay, and all the children deserve our love and spiritual guidance and protection. And so we should see like that. So you can go home and think, what are the obstacles that are stopping you from performing your spiritual duties? You know, have a journal and write down and see how you can overcome that with your friends and advisors in the community. So that will be very wonderful if you could do that. And I think the takeaway is when purity is protected, Krishna's presence becomes visible. Okay, when purity is neglected, society loses its spiritual direction. Okay, so that's the take-home message. Okay, comments, questions, you have reflections or corrections also. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Do we have a Bhakta mic? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhu. The question is, of course I have a couple of questions, but I will ask this one first. You know, you were mentioning about the kids going to the schools and giving them the proper education, spiritual education. One of our recent conversation with our Bhaktivedanta members, so nowadays the kids are being trained at the school that they start questioning things, like they are encouraged that you don't, and that's a positive side as well, we don't take it blindly, but then when it comes to the spiritual side, when they question and their answers, mostly our answers are philosophical and maybe it doesn't fit in their, so how do we approach this situation that they get the proper answers from us in proper way, that they just don't question, rather they are encouraged to follow?
Sometimes we don't, it's a good question, thank you for that. Sometimes we don't want to give answer immediately. You know, you want to think about the answer first. So you can tell the child, you know, I'll get back to you. I want to think about this question, it's a good question. I'll give you the answers from scripture. Then you have a network of so many wonderful devotees who have also raised children and who probably also went through the same questions that you are going through. So you should be able to get the answers that you want. That's one thing. Secondly, in the community you'll see some child or some children are more spiritual spiritually inclined. So your child should associate with those, because children will talk with themselves, you see, and then they'll get the answers. They will believe the other child more than they'll believe you sometimes. So you should also encourage those kind of association as well. And then the third thing is, I would always say, is you should always be familiar with Prabhupada's books.
You should be always?
Be familiar with Prabhupada's books, you know. You read more, or if you have the database, you can search for those kind of questions also. And where Prabhupada gives amazing answers, you know, revelation. Or if you have other very advanced devotee, you can write to them and say, this question was given to me. So now you have so many resources, you compile them and then you talk to your child in a way that he or she can assimilate that information. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got another question, if I can.
Oh, he has a list.
Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhu, you had mentioned, and we've seen the purport, that Nanda Maharaj was very insistent on performing the name-giving ceremony. And we see Prabhupada mentions how important it is to perform the ceremony. We often hear in lectures how Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that devotional service is the best method of purification. So my question is, what is the difference between purification through samskaras and purification through devotional service? I mean, if we have not performed the samskaras, can devotional service compensate for that?
Yes, definitely. But this is, it's like we can uplift them to a better situation where they can absorb better quickly. Now, having said that, if the samskaras are all in the presence of the deities and Vaishnavas, then it is part of the devotional activity itself. So it's not independent of devotional service. Samskaras are not independent. It only becomes material when Krishna is not part of those activities. Okay? Most of the things that we are doing is in the Shastras. So those who connect with Krishna are known as Vaishnavas. Those who don't connect are known as Martas, etc., ritualists and so on. Yeah. So, you understand? Yeah, it's not that it's independent, it's actually dependent. Yeah, so the samskaras he wants to do is he wants to connect so that his son becomes a worshipper of Narayana. That's the whole point of the purification. Yeah. So when we chant, we are also purifying, right? In the beginning, you don't even know why you're chanting. Even though we say, yeah, I'm chanting, even at the very moment, many of us don't know how to chant properly because we are not thinking that I am pleasing Krishna. Or even if you think I'm not pleasing, at least you should think I'm pleasing my spiritual master. And if you don't have spiritual master, you're actually pleasing Prabhupada. And chanting is actually one of the beginning stages of surrender, actually. Most people don't want to surrender, but you ask them to chant, the fact that they are willing to chant means they are started surrendering. So that also is purifying, although it's the name of the holy. The holy name is Krishna, not different from Krishna. Yeah? So, nice question, but then you should understand, all these samskaras, everything in the Shastras, they are all actually connecting to Supreme Person. It's not independent of Supreme Person. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another question is based on our recent conversation. So, as you also mentioned about the family raising children in Krishna consciousness, it's related to that. Many times, I mean, within family we have husband, wife, husband is working, and in this current context, the society, the way they see that if wife is at home raising kids spiritually and materially, providing all the necessities, but then the society, even the friends would encourage them, oh, you should go out to work, you should look after yourself. It's not that this is only duty. And many times then they go through that difficulty of making right choice. That, oh, am I not helping family? So how do we understand that perspective?
First of all, is it from a Krishna conscious point of view, or is it just from an ordinary person who...
No, Krishna conscious practice.
Okay, so if you are a Krishna conscious person, then you should be conscious of why you are doing this service for your child. Srila Prabhupada said raising the child is one of the most important service, right? So, if your friends or society are going to talk, then today's verse, Prabhupada says, what is essential? So you should act on that which is essential, which means you want to make sure your child has the proper foundation by which he or she will take up spiritual culture. Otherwise, you are just going to make them just like the society members. Yeah. We get confused because we associate too much with the material energy. And therefore, when we speak to these materialists, we are not prepared to answer them in the way the Shastra will answer, because we are not familiar enough with the practices that we profess to show people that I am a devotee, but I don't know anything. So when we remain in a Kanistha platform, we are overwhelmed with all this. Our faith is so pliable. Yeah. And therefore, whatever they say seems so profound to us and meaningful. And so we think, I should change my position. And that's a Kanistha Adhikari. Prabhupada said we should come to at least Madhyama platform. Then your faith is fixed. No one can shatter it. You may not be so fluent in the Shastra, but you will not give it up. The problem in our society is we use excuses for our lack of commitment to the process, actually. And so we are not afraid to send our children to these places, so I get a break. I get to go and enjoy my senses, Then why call yourself a devotee? You're a materialist. Actually, the children should be taken care so carefully because they are the future of the society. Right? Yeah. So you have to understand that. The thing in our society is we have very qualified individuals, men and women. We should start our own, homeschool your child. Don't send them out there. At least up to the time, because from the very beginning there's a formative years, the principles and so on, they see and they process and they accumulate. All these are going to make them who they are. Generally, from the age of 13 to 16 is all very strong formative years, And that's what makes them who they are later on. So those impressions that they get at this age, during the teenage years, are very important. And so homeschooling, if devotees can get together and then help one another, teach values, and at the same time you can get your degrees and so on. It's not difficult, but we have to find out how to do it, Get in touch with the Ministry of Education, see what are the things we can do in the home, what we can't do, so at least you follow the rules of the country and your child can get the education he or she needs. And sometimes people say, oh, they don't have social skills. You don't need all those silly social skills. Mostly people nowadays don't have social skills because their skills are coming from TikTok, Facebook, knick-knock, whatever, And that's what you find. Right? And then they make all kinds of silly decisions, I saw a couple of years ago, one girl is taking a selfie on top of a cliff. Boom. Plop. splat. That's the culture, right? So having seen all that, then you should think very, very, you should try to come up with your Bhakti-Viksha group and say, let's develop this for our children. How many are in and how many are out? Then you will know who are serious and who are not. Then you know how much energy you can give and how much you don't want to waste. Right? Don't waste unnecessarily. Okay, it's getting late, so you have something.
No, I was just adding on to that.
Okay, please, give him the mic.
In our community, we do have
No,
4-5
there are people
families.
listening. They need to hear you.
Yes, Prabhuji. Just to add on to that, in our
Yeah.
community, we do have 4-5 families who have
Yes.
actually done homeschooling for their
Excellent.
kids.
Yes, I know. Hanuman Prabhu,
Hanuman
his
Prabhu,
wife,
yes.
and so on.
So it's
Wonderful
been
example.
successful,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So there should be more, not just 1 or 2 people. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So thank you very much for your kind attention and presence and participating in this discussion. So have a good Sunday, Krishna conscious Sunday. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi. Oh, please, I want to give you all something. Yeah, I have this oil.
Radha Krishna Prabhu ki jai ho.